Hey, how's it going, man? Long time no talk. How you been doing?
Hi, doing good, man. Finally back to full time training. Just waiting on the call now.
Yeah, man. What has kind of happened since the last time we talked? What have you been, kind of doing during your downtime? I know you had injuries. I know you said you're kind of getting back into the swing of things. So, yeah, like what's kind of been going on?
After the Nate fight, I had a light tear in my MCL and a partial tear in a word I can't pronounce. Uh, was told I was going to get stem cell therapy. That's what the UFC wanted to do, and then went and seen a doctor here in Oklahoma. He suggested to not do it, to do more physical therapy and a knee brace, but it took a little longer to get back and get cleared. So just been hanging out with the family. Got engaged, so looking to get married in 2020. Finish out these three fights, win all three of them, get a new contract. Got some goals for 2025 and hoping for March or April.
Yeah, man. Congrats on the engagement. I saw that. That's great to hear that, you got some good things going on in your personal life. But yeah, I mean, you've been vying for a fight coming up, right? This it's finally 2025. You're getting back to the swing of things. You said March or April, right? But what's on your mind in terms of who you may want to kind of fight next? There's the flyweight division is still kind of wide open, even though Alexandre Pantoja is at the head of the helm, but I feel like the division as itself is still growing. There's a lot of newcomers coming in, making some waves. We saw Clayton Carpenter, just fight, last night. I thought he was a great competitor. Went in there against a seasoned veteran, took the loss, but now he's 8-1 and kind of looking to get back in there. But like for you, where do you kind of want to see your next fight happening at?
Uh, I mean, I prefer not the Apex, but they're still booking at the Apex. But the UFC did offer me something. I've said it in one other interview. They wanted me to fight Jose Johnson January 11th. I got cleared sometime I think in like October, but I just got cleared to go back to training. I wasn't back to full time training yet. And then I think my manager let them know. Maybe they thought I was ready to fight. They offered me January 11th versus Johnson. I said, I love the matchup. Can we get like February or October? I don't want to, hurt myself. February or March. And I was like, I don't want to hurt myself. I love the matchup. I'd like to fight him. I know he wants to fight me. Uh, Long story short, the UFC told me no, that he was going to stay on the card. And if I was going to get booked, I'll get booked in the second quarter, which is usually April, May, or June. So I was pretty disappointed in that because I liked the matchup. And then we seen Johnson fight. Johnson missed weight. Johnson got choked. But now Johnson's 1-4 or 1-3. So now I don't even know if he'll get re-signed. So I don't even know if that's an option. And then he hit my inbox and was like, "You can't run from me forever." Run from you. Well, first off, the first time Johnson ever told me he wanted to fight me was when we both fought on the Tuesday Night Contender. And we're at weigh-ins, and he's like, "Oh, I'd love to fight you." I'm like, "I'm a 125er, and you're a 135er." And he has even missed weight at 135 in his career. So I thought it was kind of weird. So I was like, "Ha ha ha." And then I run into him in Texas down at the Austin card in Austin, Texas. And then we're sitting by each other, and he was like, I really like to fight you. And I was like, "Well, I'll fucking strangle you, dude." And he's like, "Oh, no, it won't go to the ground." And it's starting to piss me off now, dude, because once again, this guy wasn't at 125. And to call me out, like, is one thing. I don't have no disrespect for that. But to keep doing it when you don't even fight at my weight class started to piss me off, dude. So then you fast forward, we fight on that same card where he does make weight. He became the biggest flyweight in history. And he ended up losing that fight. And we seen each other, I don't know how many times throughout that trip. Not one time since he made flyweight was he saying he wanted to fight me. It never came up. We crossed paths and everything, and nothing came up. Dude. And then they offer me him, and I'm like, "Look, dude, I want to fight you, but I want to fight you at a later date. Like, I'm not even back to training yet." But now after that performance he had, it was garbage. So, and he didn't make weight. So, to be honest, but I mean, I don't say no to the UFC. I never have. Um, and I don't feel I said no. I just asked to get it pushed back because I knew I was not going to be ready by January 11th. I literally started full time sparring maybe in December. So, and now I'm finally back to full time training. I would say for the last 3 weeks. My weight's about 145, 147. So weight's on point. Everything's good. So now I'm just gonna try to stay ready. There's so many flyweights booked. I really want to fight Lazy Boy. I don't know his full freaking name, like Rodriguez or whatever, but he's 2-0 the UFC. He's got a fight match for March 29th in Mexico City. Hey, guess what, dude? He's fighting an 0-2 guy. So if something came up, dude, I would love to fight him in Mexico City. I got my passport. I'll stay ready for that. We got March 8th. They're booking in Vegas. We got March 1st, which is the Apex. Then you got March 15th at the Apex. Headed over to Australia March 22nd. They just booked a 25er on there. Don't think I'll get the call for that. They're back at the Apex April 5th, April 12th. I think they're going to be down there in Florida. Old Turden's on like a 4-fight losing streak. I've been up and down. Maybe that fight could happen. I mean, because with the flyweight division, they're trying to push some out and they're trying to bring new ones in. I mean, Clay Carpenter, like you said, he lost his O, but he went to a decision with that guy. That guy submitted Nate Manus, who I just fought. He submitted Cody Turden. So, like, he submitted some high level guys, and he didn't submit Clay or even have Clay really in trouble outside of takedowns, dude. I mean, Clay fought a great fight, did really, really good. And Clay Carpenter would be a tough matchup, but I would love that one as well. I want to prove that I'm here to stay. I'm 2-3 in the UFC. I've had 5 fights, and I want a third UFC contract. I learned how these contracts work. You get more of them, you make more money. Like you fight more, win more, we make more money. So I'm ready for 2025. I really want to get these 3 fights in the contract. I really hope they offer me April, but I'm going to stay ready because there's a lot of fights booked in March. We got Charles Johnson. He's fighting that other Russian that's undefeated in the UFC, but it's only had 1 fight. I know he didn't like that matchup. You got Joshua Van. He's getting ready to fight a ranked opponent. He's fighting Silva. So there's a lot of good flyweight matchups out there, and I'm just going to stay ready from here on out.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot to come up, right? I think we have this week off next week, but then after that, we're kind of like bang, bang, bang for like the next like 3 months, I think. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of moving parts. They're still booking fights. Fighters are going to fall through always. It's just what it happens. And, you kind of staying ready will kind of give you any opportunity to kind of just jump in there, even against someone that's, a ranked competitor, because they know what you're going to bring to the table, right? You're always going to bring excitement. No matter win or lose, you're always going to be someone that everybody wants to watch fight. And I feel like that works in your favor, because if they're going to call somebody that's ready to go, why not call somebody that's always going to put on a show? Everybody's going to always want to sit down and watch you, whether you're on your prelims or on the main card. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, in terms of like, training and staying ready, right? Where have you been? You just been kind of local, your camps that you've been doing, or are you going to be kind of venturing out to different camps, getting ready for a potential short notice or, full camp for a fight?
I like what I got here in Oklahoma. I mean, occasionally I travel. Like I went and trained with Jonathan Martinez. I'd like to go train with him again for a week or so. But I have a good settlement here now, and with the layoff, it'd be harder. But I do want to get out to the Apex because I need to do the testing out there. So that's why I'd really like to fight around March or April, bring in some money, start that win streak, and then be able to get out there, get tested, start making these weight cuts a little easier. For the Nate fight, I put on a little extra weight because I knew how big Nate was, and the weight cut was tough for me. It was the first time ever in my career I had to shave my armpits and my leg hairs to help get the last
Yeah.
little bit off. Yeah, so I think if I could get out to the UFC PI, it would help out a lot with my weight cuts and because I always put on like 20 pounds after weigh-ins. I know I'm a big 25er, and I just want to make smoother weight cuts where I can push the pace more in these fights because I really do have really good cardio. I showed it on the Tuesday Night Contender, and I want more fights like the Contender. I need to wrestle more. I need to keep these guys on their toes and be more like Marab. That's what I need to be.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk about that, right? That was honestly, I thought Umar was the best 135er, but was proved wrong by Marab. Um, and he looked incredible. But like a lot of people kind of on the fence, right, about his kind of fighting style. It's just outworking, outpacing, and just outcarding his opponents. Not really want to go in there and have a kickboxing battle. He's not want to go in there and kind of submit these guys, but he just wants to put a relentless pace that no one's really going to be able to kind of keep up with. But like, I want your take on how he fights and how exciting do you think he is for the division, or do you think it would have been better if Umar won the fight and he kind of grew the division more? Because, in my opinion, the only person that really was going to give Marab the toughest fight was Umar. But now I don't know who it really is. But I just wanted to kind of get your take on that.
Oh no, I mean, I think it was a great fight. I like Marab. Like, I mean, I see fighting in a lot of different ways, obviously, because I am a fighter, and I think he's one of the best in the world for a reason. And he's proven he's one of the best bantamweights ever. I mean, and what he did to Henry, what he did to Jose Aldo. I mean, and then now to Umar, like he lost the first two rounds. Round
Yep.
three, I thought was close too. And the only reason I think I thought he lost round three was because at the end he started showboating a little bit and got put up against the fence. So kind of changed my perspective. But we've seen the judges. I can't believe one judge gave it 49-46. I don't agree with that. I think 48-47 across the board or even a split. I mean, I did think Umar almost got 3 rounds in a row. So I think it was a really good fight. I think they'll fight again, and it's going to be Marab's toughest test for sure. And then, we've seen about the injury, and I did think Marab didn't push the pace as much as he usually does either. So, like, I mean, in the next fight, he might know he can break him. So it was a really good fight, and I like Marab's style. I just like I wish I could do it more with the way I strangle people. My pressure and my cardio hasn't shown like his, and I just like to strangle people though. Once I get you on the ground, I'll strangle you. I'll break your arm. Like it doesn't matter. Like when I get a hold of people, it's in my nature, and that's what I do. And I'm ready to get back to fighting like I did against the Nate fight. I felt like I did really good. I showed my striking, but that's not what I wanted to show. I wanted to show everything. I'm the brick for a reason. It's because my game's solid all over. And in 2025, I'm going to show that.
Yeah, I mean, you looked really good in that fight in areas where people may have not thought you're so great at, right? Your striking looked very much improved. You did it. You got hit less. You took it on the chin a lot better, and you were firing back at him. You know what I mean? So you kind of showed a new wrinkle into your game where people can't just be like, "Oh, he's just gonna come and wrestle me for 15 minutes." So they have to respect your striking. So now where you can kind of get back to your bread and butter, and it'll open it up even more and possibly get the finishes that we've known to accustom from you in your career, right? And I feel like you really do have a higher ceiling than most in this division because of your skill set and how you've been around the block, fought the best of the best outside the UFC, inside the UFC, and kind of moving forward. Where do you think your kind of ceiling really is coming into your next 3 fights this year?
I mean, it's really up to the UFC. I mean, like you said, they give me a ranked opponent, then boom, by the end of 2025, we could be in the top five with 3 big wins. I could get 3 unranked opponents, win those, and then not even be in the top 15. Right. So, but my goal at the end of the day is to win all 3 fights in 2025. I think I will get a ranked opponent in there. I want to stay ready. I want to be more active, especially I'm 34 years old now. I feel like I'm at the peak of my career. I understand training too hard, not training hard enough, training too much. And I do this for a living now, thanks to all my sponsors and everybody that supports me and helps me do what I need to do to be ready. And now that I'm got my knee taken care of, I'm ready to get back. And there's so many flyweights now. I don't even know who the UFC wants to offer, but I told my manager, you don't even have to call me. Just send me a date and a contract because it doesn't matter. I'm not here to negotiate. I'm here to prove a point. So it doesn't matter who they offer or where they offer. I don't like the Apex, but I'm getting more comfortable with the Apex. Don't like foreign countries because of the taxes, but I'm here to fight at the end of the day. I want to fight the best in the world. I want to prove I'm one of the best. 2-3 doesn't set well with me. So if I win these next three fights, I'll be 5-3 in the UFC. That doesn't set well with me. And then I can get another contract and then really make myself happy as I make a run into the end of my career. I want to open a gym here in Sand Springs, Oklahoma. I need to win some fights. I need to build my name, and I need to keep doing that to set up a great legacy to, you know, help open up my gym and hopefully provide more fighters from here in Sand Springs, Oklahoma. We have a population of over 20,000 people. We're actually a really big city, and that I'm the first UFC fighter out of Sand Springs, Oklahoma. I really love that, and now I want to give a gym back to my community. I want to offer scholarships for these kids. We got some of the best wrestlers in the world to come out of Sand Springs. Dayton Fix is, this guy's wrestling over in the Olympics right now. He's right here, born in Sand Springs, Oklahoma. And to him to prove that wrestlers can make it, me to prove that fighters can make it. And we have guys in the NFL from Sand Springs High School that are Sand Springs football team. So we've proven that we got the talent here in Sand Springs, Oklahoma. And so once I'm done fighting, I'm going to continue to prove that we have a lot of talent here.
I love it. I love that you kind of try to get back to your community, just the community that kind of, gave you the opportunity to, chase your dreams. So that's it's a great thing. A lot of people don't really do that. So, I salute you to that. And yeah, I appreciate your time here with me on this Sunday. And before I let you go, I wanted to know if you have a message out there for the people that support you, your fans, and everybody who's eagerly, awaiting your return to the octagon.
Hey, I just appreciate everybody for the support, all my sponsors, my coaches, my training partners, everybody that believes in me, all you guys that interview me. Like I said, one of the guys in the interview after I fought Malcolm Gordon was the one that asked Dana White himself, like, hey, look, Jimmy Flick picked up a big win. His opponent missed weight. It was his last fight on his contract. You going to re-sign Jimmy Flick? He said yes. That meant the world to me. So what y'all do means a lot to me too, because I know you been getting passes to go to fights, like to ask these questions. And one of the guys that interviewed me, John Lynch, I believe, or one of the Lynches, or however you say his name, but that guy is the one that asked Dana, and it was just the coolest thing ever. So I really respect what y'all do. If we didn't have fans and sponsors that supported us, I wouldn't be able to do this for a living, and I really appreciate them. So always give a shout out to all my sponsors. They keep staying on board, so it's a lot easier to remember them. But Harvest Health Dispensary, Tulsa Sport Acupuncture, Minuteman Plumbing of Tulsa, International Crematory Service, Industrial Motor Services, Broadway Barbershop, The Parlor Hair and Ink, Inkwell Printing, HKA USA, Forza Combat Sports and Broken Arrow, My Lawyer, Palmer Law, GG2 Sports and Card Show, Vista Pools and Outdoor Living in Kiefer, Oklahoma. Micah Stockton, my insurance broker, Tom Wood with State Farm Insurance, Sacred Ground Properties, and Rich Fairbanks. This guy goes to all my fights at the Apex in Canada, MAJ Mafia, Rich Fairbanks. I really appreciate you, man. I don't even know if I do much for this guy, man, but he does a lot for me, so I really appreciate him. All my sponsors. And if it wasn't for him, like I said, I couldn't do this for a living on top of the UFC. And I'm just ready to get back. Mick Maynard, UFC, Dorothy, my manager. Let's go. I'm ready. March, April. I'm going to stay ready on short notice. Me and Coach Leo, we're ready for whoever they offer us, and I can't wait.